It's a new segment. It's called Game Winning Drive, brought to you by Sikora Family Ford. And this is a breaking news segment now. Just so you know, in segment 2, we have college basketball recruiting expert and NBA draft analyst Paul Biancardi from ESPN. He's going to join us. Baylor fans, you're going to really like what he has to say about Tunde Yesufu. But again, I mentioned breaking news, and this was legit breaking news. Andrew Marchand from The Athletic reported this morning. I woke up to this tweet. Marchand, once upon a time, really helped me out when I was in a jam with one of the football games that I broadcast. He is a sports media writer, and he is always breaking big-time news. Marchand says that Robert Griffin III, let's read the tweet. After being fired by ESPN, Robert Griffin III is expected to be hired by Fox Sports as its number 2 game analyst. The Athletic has learned. Now, a little more detail on this. This is a college football position. So he's the number 2 game analyst for college football. I'll get into the article here just to give you the exact detail. So the sources are telling Marchand that the former Heisman winner is expected to be hired by Fox. Griffin 35 would replace Brock Heward as the network's second highest college football game analyst. Heward announced he was leaving the booth to be an assistant coach for his son's high school team. His loss, our gain, right? Griffin is expected to team with play-by-play announcer Jason Benetti. Benetti's awesome. If you saw him walking down the street, you wouldn't take him for this, like he's got this amazing, voice. He's great. You know who he is right when you hear him. Fox declined to comment. The deal is anticipated to go through, but a contract has not yet been signed. This is something I'm familiar with. When ESPN, not because I've been let go, but I'm just familiar with this. When ESPN lets go of an employee under contract, it continues to pay the person, but does have the right to block them from other moves. The network let go of Griffin in August of last year on the eve of football season. In fewer than 4 years since he last played in the NFL, Griffin had an up-and-down broadcasting career. In the summer of 2021, he aced game analyst auditions with both ESPN and Fox. He did Monday Night Countdown. And even while at ESPN, Fox showed some interest in Griffin when the network and Reggie Bush, one of its top analysts on the college pregame show Big Noon Kickoff, had a contract dispute in 2022. Fox almost hired Griffin to replace him. So this is big news, huge news for us. And I can tell you right now, we're talking about the NFL draft tonight. Remember, Robert, Heisman Trophy winner, as was mentioned in that article, was picked second in the 2012 draft. The Redskins basically mortgaged their future for him. And he didn't disappoint in his first year. Second year was tough. And then, we all know how it went, but injuries early in your career can do that to you, especially when you're a certain type of player. As an analyst, RG3 is wildly talented. I can't imagine having a better in-game analyst, really, on the college football level. I think he's as good as Kirk Herbstreit with his analysis, and his experience of the college game is still fresh. Let's bring Scotty Swingler in here because this situation is near and dear to his heart. I know very much so. Scotty, you saw this news today. I broke it to you.
You did. I had not seen that yet.
As Andrew Marchand broke it to me. How do you feel about it?
I'm very excited. I'm very excited for RG3. I think he belongs in a booth. I thought he was so good at it in his time in ESPN. I was a little surprised Fox didn't scoop him up sooner, but as you said, we don't know quite all the details behind how that was going to work. This is great. I think it's great for Fox, great for him. I made a little comment to you. I've thought since they scooped up, and this was, probably almost a decade ago now, but whenever they first scooped up Cowherd and Skip Bayless immediately upon their exits from ESPN, I was like, oh, Fox is going for it. Like they're going neck and neck with ESPN in this coverage stuff. And I think they continue to reap the benefits of ESPN letting really talented people go. And this is good for everybody.
So this segment is the game-winning drive brought to you by Sikora Family Ford. Is this a winning drive play?
Yeah.
You think made by Fox?
Yeah. Yeah, and in fact, it looks like
I think it fits the segment very well.
It does. It looks like Bear the Truth agrees with me. This will take Fox to the next level. And Scotty B, the Baylor King, says, so glad for RG3. So I think the consensus very quickly is it is a game-winning play and drive for Fox and Robert. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great. Now, I also believe, first of all, Robert Griffin, I know you've had some interaction with him. I have as well. And he's an amazing dude to be around. And he's obviously, like I said, wildly talented on the football field, in the broadcast booth. He is a uniquely qualified person to talk about college football. And he's uniquely talented. He's just look. Yeah. Some people just have special gifts. He's one of them. Yep. Okay, the way he treats people, the way he's able to articulate his points so quickly and just get them in the game, and his delivery is always something that's special. There was some stuff, at ESPN that folks didn't take too kindly to. Nothing egregious, but I think enough is enough. He has a little bit of a diva in him, maybe, as people have said. I've never experienced that, but I've heard about it. And I heard that was part of the reason that ESPN and RG3 found themselves at odds. And I wonder if, I love to talk about spirituality and God. I wonder if what happened at ESPN was sort of a teachable moment for him. And he may be a little different. And that's, sometimes this happens. Like Fox is quite, I think, likely to not only get this amazing broadcaster, right, with this amazing experience that he can lend awesome perspective for college football analysis, but also they might be getting the best version of RG3. After that situation at ESPN, maybe that's something that he can learn from and be like, there's things I can be a little better at. He's the kind of guy that I think is reflective.
I think all of us who are emotionally intelligent, and I think RG3 is, learn over time.
Oh, do we ever?
And you and I have these stories, right?
Yeah.
And grow professionally over time. And I think that's not even a statement about RG3's character. It's just as you grow and go through different experiences professionally, you get better. And so I agree with you. Bear the Truth sarcastically says, or was it a teachable moment for ESPN?
Oh, look at these.
when Fox's ratings start to climb a little bit on RG3's calls, we'll see if ESPN learns.
And I have no official knowledge as to why they parted ways.
No,
heard whispers about that, and it was nothing egregious. It was basically like, hey, RG3 was, you have those meetings with coaches and stuff on a Friday before a game, and sometimes he would miss those or like stuff like that. It's not like he was a no call, no show, but he just wouldn't be there for those. Which is if you're in that and that's the only thing you do, it's just not something you would ever miss.
And
here comes Scotty pushing back.
If I can reflect on how ESPN chose to use RG3. They kind of gave him a unique role in that they wanted him to do NFL and college football. And I think that's cool. He played in both. He was good in both. But I think the guys that really excel do one. The big exception being when Amazon Prime hired Kirk Herbstreit to do NFL. He's doing phenomenally. But most of these guys, it was, I always thought it was strange. Let's have RG3 do the college games on Saturday, but then do Monday Night Countdown on Monday, and then in between we'll have him on Get Up talking NFL.
First Take.
We'll have him talking college football. I think they didn't quite know. I can imagine RG3's probably going man, guys, I'd love to be at this meeting on Friday, but I'm prepping for Monday night, or I'm I feel like he had a lot of plates.
Well,
so I loved it. I loved it for Fox initially. Maybe he ends up on, what's their show called? I'm so good morning football. No.
First Things First.
No.
Yeah, I think so, right?
No, what's the college game day competitor?
Big Noon Kickoff.
Big Noon Kickoff. That will never compete with college game day.
And by the way, remember, you mentioned Jason Benetti, just knowing the play-by-play game and sports media like that, like I know. He called, I think, at least 2 Baylor games last year. So RG3 will probably be calling some Baylor games.
Yeah, and Fox does a lot of Big 12 games, so that tracks. No, but what I was going to say is I love the report so far that it's not he's going to be in studio shows. It's he's going to call football games.
Yes.
Frankly, he's trying to grow his own podcast, the Out of Pocket with RG3, and so it might even be that he was I don't want to commit to a 6-day work week. I need to keep doing my podcast. So it might just be that hey, okay, great, you're in the booth.
Yeah.
Maybe it's an occasional appearance on Big Noon Kickoff. And then as that grows, maybe there's a bigger role for him to step into. I think that's a good way to approach it if you're RG3.
No, I think you're exactly right. And I think now you see the success of his podcast. And, that this move gives that podcast a little more punch again.
It does.
You got RG3 back on linear TV.
And gives him access.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got access because he's played in the league. He's got all these relationships.
Yeah.
But now you work for Fox Sports as well. It just gives you more.
Yeah. So props to RG3. Awesome dude. Happy for him. Scotty's happy. Definitely a winning drive, a game-winning drive, brought to you by Sikora Family Ford. If you're in the market for a car, go see our friends out there. Tell them the Pete Souza Show sent you. I don't know. Well, that won't get you a discount. It might get you, a better handshake and a bigger smile. But all that aside, you'll definitely get a good experience in the as far as trying to buy a car, and you'll also you might come away with a new car. So keep that in mind if you're in the market.